Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the community feed coverage of the Chess Rush Global Star Challenge. My name is TJ, joined by Fried Sweet Tea. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic right now, TJ. Looks like we're probably going to get into the games pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm watching the clean feed. They've just gotten started, so we can get started on our side as well. So if you're just joining us today and you're like, what's going on? That's a very reasonable question. Because there's a lot of things going on tonight. We're having 8 influencers from around the world playing head-to-head in a very fun tournament. I'm going to go ahead and start a second timer, if that's legal. I'm going to stall out for a moment. I'm going to start a second timer to when our first game of the day starts. That's in, to my understanding, approximately an hour. The clean feed is currently showing the complete list of influencers, so I'll throw that up. Do you know any of these boys?
Oh, definitely. I'm a big fan of Disguised Toast and Ponyoff back in my Hearthstone days. Definitely two really good
shooters. You played Hearthstone?
Yes, we played Hearthstone, TJ.
Oh my god. So the other day when I was complaining about Hearthstone being a dice rolling game, I was attacking your childhood?
You were attacking my childhood. Absolutely. Felt very attacked the whole time.
Well, I'm happy that you didn't say anything.
No, too nice. Too nice to say anything, TJ. Don't you worry.
So here is... so here is kind of how things are going to work, and... We have these 8 players from around the world. They're playing 2 games. One normal mode, one turbo mode. At the end of the game, if a player wins, they get... Hold on, let me triple check to make sure I get this right. If a player wins, they get 8 points. Second, they get 6 points. Third, they get 5 points. Oh my god, there it is. Fourth, you get 4 points. Fifth, you get 3 points. Sixth, you get 2 points. Seventh, you get just 1. And eighth, you go home with 0. At the end of the 2 games, the player with the most points is the winner. For first place, there's $10,000 on the line. For second, $5,000. For third, just $1,000.
Yeah, it was actually pretty perfect timing right there on production.
You know
That's
what
a lot
it
of
is?
money too.
You know what it is? There's genuinely a tempo to esports. And because I'm hitting the notes at approximately, like, with that tempo kind of in my head, they are running on approximately the same schedule, having the same discussion, just like at their own tempo, as if they didn't know our broadcast was happening.
Yeah, definitely a happy coincidence going right there.
Look at his jacket.
Oh.
I'd wear that jacket.
Yeah, it's a nice jacket, TJ. It's a nice jacket.
Definitely wear that jacket. I'm over here, you know, in a dress. I think UMG are in LA. They do some Fortnite stuff. So
yeah,
it's like hot over there, and they're like sweaters and jackets. That's crazy.
Hopefully they got the AC on in there.
Well,
pretty hot up in California.
I'm just hoping that I got the AC on in here, because today's games are gonna be hot. Both. Especially because we have some additional rules. I already explained how the matches worked, but there's an extra little wild card thrown in there. I'm referring, of course, to the chosen cards. I think you have the list of assigned cards in front of you. Could you walk us through that?
Yes. Disguise Toast was assigned Miss Supersonic. Let's see. There's Famine, Evergreen, Hog Rider, Frost Lotus, Bionic Ninja, Voodoo Elder, and Ice Tusk. A lot of 1-cost units there, but 2 2-cost units. So it looks like whoever got assigned Evergreen Play Hard from Brazil seems like...
Oh my god! Hold up!
Gonna be looking...
We're still in sync! They're playing the video. I'll throw to it, and we can listen to the players talk through the cards they got assigned.
World.
Okay.
Not only that, I have a special task. Every time I see the unit Miss Supersonic, the cyborg engineer, I have to buy it and hold it on my bench until the end of the game. So come check it out. See if I can complete this task on July 27th, and I'll see you guys there.
結構運命を分けると思います。これにします。はい。なんだ。ズバリ。じゃらん。サイバー忍者。サイバー忍者。
어, 볼게요. 야, 뭐야?
hui Hog Rider โอ้โหทุกคนsemoga saya bisa mendapatkan kartu yang bagus. Oke, saya ambil ini ya. Wow, saya mendapatkan Frost Lotus Species Human Class Sorcerer.
Давайте эники, беники, ели вареники, эники, беники, чпок. Я, пожалуй, выберу вот это вот. И у нас здесь Voodoo Elder.
Lá, inclusive, aonde sempre que apareceu o personagem aí, o Evergreen aí, que é um druida elfo muito da hora, eu gosto muito dele, ainda bem que eu caí com isso.
I have to be going for hunters, especially I have to be getting famine. Anyone get any advice for me?
Okay, so, there's the prize pool. We're a little bit off there. We already touched on that. So the way this works is, as you kind of saw there, every player was randomly assigned one of those characters. There were already a pool of characters, and then they were randomly dealt out. And you have to purchase, not necessarily play, but you have to purchase that character should it come up in your draw, and you cannot sell it. No, even if you already have a 3-star of the character, it doesn't matter. You have to buy it.
Yeah, and that's going to be very unfortunate for some of the players here. Because, let's see, Miss Supersonic could be used in Cyborgs. You have Famine, which is really good in Hunters. But Evergreen, it's a 2-cost unit, and you have to invest a lot of time into Druids. Hog Rider is another pretty good unit. You can use that for Riders. Frostlo's another good Sorcerer, so they could look for a human comp.
That'll
Bionic Ninja. What?
That'll be like some of these. You know what? Let's run through it. So Disguised Toast has the Miss Supersonic. Ponov, I think, is how I'm supposed to say that. He's German. I'm not great with German. Has the Famine. Play Hard from Brazil has the Evergreen. CGGG has the Hog Rider. Airpan got assigned Frost Lotus. Max Murai from Japan got assigned Bionic Ninja. Arum got assigned the Voodoo Elder. And the Korean Dahyoni, at a guess, got the Ice Tusk. So, some of those are, like, real bad. I wouldn't want to be forced to have Frost Lotus or a Hog Rider because they don't necessarily work with a composition that you're getting. You see a lot of Frost Lotus in the first stage of the game. You have to buy them all. I think that ruins your economy.
Yeah, definitely could ruin the economy, especially these players, if they're going for a certain comp, they're gonna be devastated when they have to buy that unit instead of the unit for their comp. It's gonna be really fun to watch, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. So, in a moment, we're going to head on over to Max Murai's stream, the Japanese player, and we'll get our kind of first look at the players getting set up for the day. He has to, I believe, run the... Let me double check. He has to run the Bionic Ninja. And I've actually expressed, I think, last time there was a tournament, that I think the Bionic Ninja is flat out the worst character in the game.
Yes, I normally refer to him as Trash Ninja because he's not really doing much for you. It's probably the worst assassin out of all of them too.
He just I'm just firmly of the opinion that he doesn't scale in any way, and he doesn't even I think he's the worst cyborg. He's the worst assassin and he's the worst cyborg. So if you're running an assassin composition, he's the character that I'm trying to drop. If you're running a cyborg composition, he's the character you're trying to drop. How do you make that work?
I guess it's not too bad at 2-star. It gives you a stun at least, so you could be looking at that. You don't have to necessarily build around the unit you're given, but you can definitely just throw it in as a 2-star and wait until you get something better. It's definitely going to hurt their econ trying to play with these specific units.
I'm going to want to see if we get to a point where people are just, deliberately buying them on the bench and not doing anything with them. Here is Max Murai's stream right now. The nice Japanese boy who has been doomed to a cyborg assassin. I have to say, of the people that did the video earlier, their production quality and enthusiasm was absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, TJ. They were so excited to draw that ninja.
So let's take a look at what they're kind of running, because it will give us maybe an inkling of what's to come. It looks like during this warm-up game, they're playing around with the cyborgs as, their backline on their bench, but they're not playing a whole lot of them. Instead, this is Rider kind of for a front line, some cyborgs, some hunters, good mix.
Yeah, he definitely has a solid comp. Looks like he might be looking for Riders, cyborgs, and hunters in his games, which... the cyborgs could get you through the early game, and you can also transition through Rider, Hunter, or Cyborg's late game, so it's pretty nice. He's playing pretty well.
Let's take a moment. We do have some people filtering into the chat. And we have, I believe, about 30 minutes before the first official game starts. So we can take this moment to chat with the chat. This is the Global Star Challenge. And what that means is we have these various YouTubers, these various influencers, such as this nice Japanese man, warming up for the first official Chess Rush tournament. It's a little bit more of a promotional invitational. So many of these players, I think, maybe a little less experienced with the title than the other tournaments that we've been doing. But I'm also excited because many of them are, I think, coming into this game with a ton of experience in similar games. And what that always means... Oh, we just changed focus to the Korean boy. Da Hayoni. This is very exciting to me because whenever I see players play a game that I'm casting that they're not familiar with, but they're more familiar with the genre, that results in them doing stuff that is outside of the meta, but still really clever. And so you get like a little bit of evolution.
Yeah, this guy's going for Beast and Warrior, which is actually a pretty decent comp right now. So even if they're lacking in a little bit of experience, it seems like the other games are going to pay off that they played.
Yeah, what character does this Dahyoni have to run? Ice Tusk. Actually, you have to build Ice Tusk, Druid Beast Warrior. That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's perfect. He definitely, if he's looking for Ice Tusk, he has a pretty good idea. If he could fit some Warlock in there, he might have the best comp, honestly.
Yeah, and that's kind of weird because Ice Tusk is like by far the weakest character there, I think, maybe except for Bionic Ninja. But the advantage of Ice Tusk is that he doesn't hard commit you to much. You can also run Warrior with an Ice Tusk, and he's like, fine. You're not going to get mad at the Ice Tusk.
Yeah, he's definitely very versatile. Plus, if he's 3-star, he becomes a little bit more of a unit. It can definitely soak up a lot of damage.
Do you run 3-star Ice Tusks ever?
I do.
I legitimately don't think I've ever seen one.
No, I definitely I look for it if it's there, but it's usually not my first focus in the game.
Well, in this specific tournament, he didn't get a choice. Ooh, what do you do here? Ooh.
What do you do here? Let's see.
So he just went for the reroll, which was the smart play, and then he got blessed for it. The owl came through. Now he's got 3 stars. Oh my god, this is Korean esports.
He's got too many beasts. He doesn't know what to do with all these beasts he has on board, TJ.
What's interesting is he's prioritizing keeping that Goblin Berserker out there. And that's like not awful, because the Goblin Berserker sure is a good character, but it doesn't synergize at all with anything he has. He could have the 6 beast buff if he swapped it out, for instance, for that werewolf. But I guess it's just worth it in his head to keep it in because it is such a powerful character.
Yeah, even though it's only 1 star, it's still a 4-cost unit. Epic units are usually a little bit stronger, even than a 2-star 1-cost unit. So that could be his thought process behind it.
Yeah, and that's been kind of something I'm always struggling with is it worth it to get the characters that are ostensibly stronger, even if they don't synergize? Speaking of people that are strong, I don't know. I'm not really sure where that segue was going. It's your boy, Disguised Toast, representing the Americas in today's tournament. His assigned character, the character he has to pick, no matter what if it comes up, is Miss Supersonic. Heaven help him.
Hopefully, he has some sort of strategy with this Supersonic. Looks like he's already got 3-starred, actually. Oh wait, no, I actually lost that round. Oh no, they took all of his Supersonics here, TJ.
Oh my god! What do you do?
They actually have every supersonic.
Okay, so I'm like crazy metagaming here, and there's no way any of these players are taking this. Actually, with 5k on the line, maybe. But I don't think any of these players are like thinking this far ahead. But would it be a viable strategy? Say if I were Disguised Toast, and I were worried about, who is it that has the Frost Lotus? Urpan, who has to buy every Frost Lotus. Would it be a viable strategy to buy all the Frost Lotuses early game and then dump them late game and force him to buy them off the reroll menu so that he didn't get his preferred characters?
Oh, TJ, that's some definite mind games that could come in.
But, like,
especially
could you do that?
Yes, you could. You could reset them in store, and that's actually insane. Now that I think about it.
This is why I don't get invited to these events, because I'm too crafty.
Yeah, way too crafty for him, TJ. Wow, that's actually a really good strategy to use, especially if they're on the brink of defeat, like 5 health left, and then they have to pick up the Frost Lotus instead of a key unit they needed.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's actually next level if someone does that. I'm gonna be on the lookout.
I'll keep an eye out for it, but like many things in life, it's probably just not worth it. So, let's talk about the Mist Supersonic. Disguised Toast has to pick up a Mist Supersonic every time. What are the compositions that could be run around that? Kind of interesting for me is you can use kind of a cyborg setup, maybe. And just put anything behind the cyborgs, which seems to be what he's done here. Maybe a couple cyborgs frontline, then you put the sorcerers behind them. Is that a good play?
Yeah, that's actually a really good play. That's been how I've been running cyborgs lately, and I've been loving it because cyborgs are super tanky. All they need is a little bit of damage, and if you get the sorcerer buff, it actually helps out with your cyborgs, because Supersonic does magic damage with their ult.
I think it's very, very good to kind of start thinking about what these ideal plans are going to be. Because whether or not they get the perfect composition for their character, they have to pick up these characters. So the question isn't so much what is the perfect composition to run if you have to buy Mist Supersonic. It is more, what are you going to run as options given that you have to pick up the Mist Supersonic? It is an inevitability he's going to have some cyborgs in his comp. What does he play with them? I oftentimes...
Honestly...
Sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, Mist Supersonic, you could just pick any comp you really want and just throw her in there. She's a pretty solid unit. Does a lot of magic damage. Definitely a good early pickup. Falls off pretty hard into the late game, though.
We are going to a quick break. This will be about 5 minutes. We'll come back with the remaining players warming up, and then we'll come into game number 1 on the hour. So, don't go far. We'll be right back in a moment. When we return, we're going to get a look, I believe, right off the bat at the German player. So, the German engineering? Who knows? We'll find out if it's able to give him an edge here in a moment. All right, welcome back to our community coverage of the Chess Rush Global Star Challenge. My name's TJ, still alongside a star in his own right, Fried Sweet Tea. We're currently peeking in on Aurum, the Russian player's stream. I don't know if you caught that, but he's Rook.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's been climbing in the ranks, it looks like. Definitely want to watch out for there.
What character is he assigned? Let me double check my notes here. He is on the Voodoo Elder. Oh God!
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna withdraw that because almost every composition these days is running a goblin, right?
Yeah, goblins are very strong right now, actually. So if he does go for the 4 goblins, he could just run away with it, honestly.
And more importantly, when was the last time you saw a Voodoo Elder in the late game? It's like not gonna muck up his draws nearly as badly as, say, a Frost Lotus.
Yeah, Voodoo Elder is actually very strong in the late game. Gives you the Warlock buff, the Goblin synergy, and it just has a stun for utility. Definitely a great unit.
We've swapped on over to... I think this is the Indonesian player? Could be wrong. I'm taking a stab in the dark here. I think this is the Indonesian player, Erpan, who is the boy stuck with the Frost Lotus. I'm trying to recognize the language from his chat. I think that's Indonesian.
Frost Lotus...
Oh, it is Erpan. I can see it in the sidebar. Look at how smart I am.
Yeah.
Not even reading things. On the plus side,
I was doing it.
I can't recognize Indonesian, apparently. They're a massive region in Arena of Valor, which is the other mobile game I cover. They have like a ton of fans there. So, big mobile gaming. I'd expect this boy to have worked hard at it. He's got a couple warriors for his front line. Here, notably, I'm not seeing any Frost Lotus. So maybe this is the world we just live in. He gets real lucky on his draws and doesn't have to spend for Frost Lotus.
That actually could happen. I don't know if anyone's going to get too lucky, but if it happens, it happens. Seems like he's played a little bit. Lilith, a really strong unit in the early game by her
Hold up,
own
how's he
right.
at 60 HP on round 3? He lost...
Oh, he's playing Turbo.
Oh, he's playing Turbo, okay. I thought he lost both his AI rounds, like, massively. I was so freaked out. How do you lose 40 HP in the 2 AI rounds?
Yeah, I just looked at it, I saw everyone was at 60, so I was like, okay, they're playing Turbo.
This is why you're here to be my analyst, because clearly I can't be trusted. Oh, he is losing this round, though. So... is this... Here's my question. If you don't get any Frost Lotus, or whatever character it is that you're assigned as the draw, is it worth it to still build on the assumption you will get them? Build a composition around getting sorcerers? Even if you're not going to get them?
Yeah, I don't think it would be. You could definitely just go whatever build you want. And if you don't get the Frost Lotus or whatever unit you were assigned, I think you just take that as a win.
I suppose. Let's talk ideal compositions. What is the perfect world for the man assigned Frost Lotuses?
Honestly, it should... Frost Lotus, you could definitely run 6 humans. If you're feeling a little lucky, you could definitely get 6 humans in, because if you have 6 humans, it's a 50% chance to reset your ability cooldowns. So I could see a world where he goes for all humans here.
I'm a big fan, because I think if this man gets good rolls on Human Sorcerer, he has one of the strongest compositions in the game. I was just actually talking to chat about this during the break. I really like this Sorcerer Human comp, and I can see on my setup here a little bit of a grin on your face, because you know this about me. If I can not just roll as many die as possible, but like roll them at somebody, throw some D20 at the other person, I'm a big fan of that. And if I can build a full composition about my sorcerers just getting alt resets, I really like that.
Yeah, I can tell when I watch your stream sometimes you do like the dice rolly comps. I mean it's a strong comp 6 human, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it due to the dice rolly aspect.
That is.
Much as you are.
I've heard that plenty of times before. That is pro player code for TJ, you dumbass. This is the Thai player CGGG. He's been assigned the Hog Rider. As we said during the Voodoo Elder on Aurum, I think being assigned having to draw a Goblin Rider isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, it looks like he's fitting it nicely in the riders right here. He's running druids with it. Could be something actually good. It could actually be really good.
Did he get the best assigned character? Goblin Rider, because it's a Rider and a Goblin, both of which are in the meta.
Yeah, I think honestly he did, because you can run Rider, Goblin, and Hunters, and Goblins, and Riders, and you can mix the two. So good front line, very useful ability early game, so it could be looking very good for him, honestly.
I'm not sure how I feel about this sudden realization I've had. But this is another region, of course. Thailand and Indonesia are kind of big mobile esports regions. So I'm really excited to see if maybe they can surprise a lot of the Western fans who are tuning in here to see their disguised Toast Boy. Because I guarantee you, these boys stream a lot of mobile games, and I bet they want this win 10x more. Disguised Toast is all that Hearthstone money he can go back to. You know? He's still got other dice he could roll. But if you're born and bred in mobile esports like these Thai streamers are, this is, I think, much closer to home.
I think you can't really count out Disguised Toast though. If
The
I remember
fat boy.
because if you've seen his Yoxerons, you definitely can't count him out because he gets some crazy luck sometimes.
Let's talk ideal compositions for the boy with the skull mask. We reference it, but almost everyone runs Goblin Rider these days. If you're running the Goblin Rider and you throw in another Goblin, you get plus 15 attack speed for your whole team. He also counts as a Rider, and almost everyone's composition these days still includes 2 Riders, at least during the early game, because the early game Rider buff is still very strong.
Yeah, Rider is really strong right now. Transitions from early, mid to late game perfectly. So, definitely Hog Rider is probably the pick of the pool right there that you wanted to get. Yeah, he's running Druid with it right now, so we'll see how it goes.
I want to get personal, but that guy has no furniture. He's got like a shelf behind him, which is cool. I like shelves.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any chairs. Maybe it's just the camera angle. I'm sure he owns chairs. So
TJ is actually sitting in a chair right now.
Oh my god! You are right. Let's talk about Brazil. This boy, this boy is Play Hard, and he's got Evergreen as his assigned character. That's also real good. Evergreen, I think, a druid and a elf. You can do a lot with that. You were running the elf comp on the stream the other day, right?
Yes. It's pretty insane, but hopefully he gets the gurus, gets the 4th druid, because he could actually win the whole thing if he does go full druid. Because druid is a very snowbally composition that you can run, and possibly win by like around 25.
Yeah.
So just
the advantage of going Druid Beast is that you summon like an entire second army. So when you win rounds, you don't just win rounds you one-shot rounds. You do like
Yes.
40 plus damage on a win.
I've done quite a few 30 and 40 hits with my druids.
It's
so-
amazing.
Yeah, it's actually a blast to see all those 3-star frogs coming in. You just can't do anything about it.
They all do so much. Once you have the full beast buff, they all do so much damage, like even just on your board. You just have like 50 3-star pets, and they're just like chunking people, and you can see just these tanks just melting as they're focus fired by an entire zoo.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious seeing all the units actually just come around and fill the board up. And then you just have like 6 units versus 20 something.
But you need 2 things to make that comp work. You need beasts, which are pretty easy to pick up, but you need to commit to early, and you need the owl. And we bring that up because you can never get the owl. He hides. He's nocturnal. He only comes out at night.
Yeah, I think he's gonna realize as he plays Druid Beast here that the owl does not like to show up if you're playing Druids. It'll show up when I'm playing Warriors or any other composition, but if you're playing Druids, you're probably not gonna see the one unit you actually need.
Well, it's like rolling Terminator while you're doing Cyborg, right?
Yeah.
The comp would be
It's
beautifully
definitely a high
viable
roll.
every time if you could just consistently roll those characters.
Yeah, which cyborgs you can survive a little bit longer. Get to it's more of like a late game role, but with druid it's the opposite. You actually want in the very very early game to snowball your victory before the other late game comps come online.
Yeah, if you can win a lot of those early game rounds like we were talking about, you don't just win the rounds, you do absurd amounts of damage in those rounds. So it adds up very, very quickly. Here you can see this boy's got 3 druids. You know which druid he doesn't have? Who would let him get 2 3-stars right now? If he could pull them up?
Yes, I do.
Doesn't have the owl.
Night owl.
The player he's
wow.
playing against has the owl.
This is also a common strategy I see in my games. Other players taking that night owl when they see a druid player, just to deny it. It's very frustrating.
Oh, I think this is.
Ponyoff.
Yeah, the German boy. Ponyoff at the top of my notes. He is stuck to the famine. And I was actually very curious to get your thoughts on this, because the famine is... By the way, can we just appreciate this is like letterboxed cinematic storytelling happening right now. He's playing in the same aspect ratio that the movie Interstellar was shot in. The advantage of famine is that they're like the scariest thing in the early game, but I always feel come late game nobody notices them. They just don't do enough damage.
Yeah, famine, I usually don't worry about her even 3-starring her, honestly, because she does fall off very hard in late game. However, if Ponyoff picks up a couple items, that famine could be insane, because she does need the hunter buff, she does need the great swords, and all the daggers, so we'll see. But yeah, it looks like he has a really good lineup, actually. He has a good process. It's going
You know
Rider
what I've
Hunter.
noticed? Ponyoff didn't even read those items. He just automatically gave 4x Spellbane Staff to General of War. He knows his stuff.
I mean, it is the best target on his board right now. So,
well, what I mean
I
is
don't
whether or
blame
not
him.
that was the right call. He was already comfortable knowing that he should what the Spellbane Staff did and where he should put it. Maybe he should have saved it for a better use. But the point is, this is a boy who's been doing his homework. I made the joke about German engineering, but I think he's here to play.
Yeah, he might not did like the complete homework yet because of the putting 2 spell bans onto General War. General War has a pretty long cooldown, and
that makes it real easy for him to die, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to put a lot of tank items onto the general.
The
but
big
still,
thing,
position's looking great, honestly.
yeah, the big thing with not just General of War, but a lot of characters is their cooldowns are so long that Spellbind doesn't like help. Because sure, they have the mana again, but they can't do anything. So it makes much more sense to give him survivability, whereas Spellbind Staff actually debuffs your HP. Ooh, we got a resub. 14 months, isn't he popular? You actually get an HP debuff if you have General of War. It makes you, or Spellbind Staff. It makes you generate your mana quicker, but you're much less survivable. So, I'm not a giant fan of the choice.
Yeah, I do like putting maybe one on each thing, but definitely he could use a Spellbane Staff on the Shark right here to pop a little bit earlier. But yeah, if he goes for this comp, I think he might be able to just win with it, because Rider Hunter probably one of the strongest comps in the game right now.
My concern is we've talked up players who kind of have to run Beast comp and players who kind of have to run Sorcerer comp. And you don't always see full dedication to those compositions, but in this specific tournament, we're going to get that, oh, he misdid the math and he can't level up. Feels bad.
That feels bad. I do it all the time.
Broken, he can't level up. But in this specific competition, there are people who 100% are going to be running Sorcerer and 100% are going to be running Beast simply because that's what they're stuck with due to the special rules. And I feel that full Sorcerer does well into full Hunter. I feel that full Beast does well into full Hunter. For kind of opposite ends of the spectrum of bad things, full Beast overwhelms Hunters with too many targets. They're single target characters and they don't have enough AoE to deal with it. And then the Sorcerer AoE counters the backline nature. They can just cut right into what should be the safe players, the safe Hunters sitting pretty far back with their giant AoE damage. Hey, we're back on screen.
Polyhoff is actually, if he gets the composition he's going for in that game, he could do pretty well, though. So, you have the crowd control for the sorcerers with the Shark and the General.
My concern is just that composition is safe and real good in queue, but in a competition where everyone is forced to go for full specialization, it may be undermined by the counters to the single target damage.
Yeah, it could be. They could also pick up Stalker Drone, which has a lot of AoE damage for the Hunters. It just depends on probably what he rolls late game.
I believe the boys on the official feed are about to throw to a 10-minute break, so we'll kind of get prepped for it. I'm going to ask you, before we go to break, though, you've now seen all of the players. We've met them all, we've seen them all warming up. We'll come into the game after the break. Who are you favoring?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I think Polyhoff definitely has the best composition to go for, so I'm probably going to favor him.
Not the boy with the Goblin Rider?
Actually, yeah. I think those two will be clashing it out, because it looks like they both could go for Riders this game.
Huh. I think, you know what? I thought it through. I think the player that impressed me the most, where I was like, oh, he's definitely got it, was actually Max Mirai, the Japanese boy that we saw at the very beginning. I think he's been doing his homework. Don't count him out. We'll go to a lightning fast break. 5 minutes. When we come back, it'll be game number 1. That'll be the classic mode. I can't wait. You have our predictions, but feel free to throw yours in the chat as well. We'll return once again in about 5 minutes with the first game of the day. Welcome back to our coverage of the Global Star Challenge. My name is TJ. This is one of the... Oh, I pointed in the wrong direction. This is one of the best players in the world, Pride Sweet Tea, alongside me. And we have just a few moments left before we get into game number 1. We've kind of seen... Sorry?
I'm so excited for this game is about to start.
Yeah.
After seeing them all warm up right there.
We've seen them all warm up. We've met all the players. Here is the full list again. We're playing 2 games tonight for $10,000 as a first place prize. First one will be Classic, second will be Turbo. We kind of penciled in our predictions prior to the break, but would you like to reiterate them?
I think Ponyhoff has a really good chance. Rider Hunter, definitely very strong, very easy to build, and very safe going on into the late game. So I think he has a really good chance.
Yeah, I said I favored the nice Japanese man because he seemed to. They seem to have done their homework over on their feed. Although, hey, you know what? We kind of made our predictions for opposite reasons. Here's game 1. We kind of made our prediction for opposite reasons. I said Max Miura, the Japanese guy, was going to win, but he's stuck with the Bionic Ninja, which we also said was the worst thing to be stuck with, so who knows? Game number 1 of the Global Star Challenge. I can't wait. We're into things.
He should probably waited for a Druid right there. But probably not too familiar with the Druid mechanic to where you can just level them up with 2 Witch Doctors there.
Ponyov is stuck with the Famine. Once again, the way the rules work, each of these players has been assigned one hero, one character, and if they draw them, they must buy them regardless of their board state. If they can't afford them, they have to save for a round. Whoa, what is this high-quality production nonsense? Tencent, don't do it to me. 4 screens at once!
Whoa.
Oh my god, hold me. Okay. So let's talk through compositions. You can see Max Murai on the top left side, or sorry, top right side. He's got himself the cyborgs that he must buy and seems to be doubling down. He's got 3 cyborg, 2 engineer already. That's fun to see.
Yeah, it looks like he might be committing to the cyborgs here completely, which that'll be definitely exciting come late game if he can pick up the legendary cyborgs that you need. Looks like everyone's got some pretty good early units though here. So the first couple PvP rounds should be exciting.
Ponyov on the top. Yeah, we go to his screen. He's got Frost Lotus kind of as his backline here, but he's mandated the Famine. Ironically, he kind of... ironically, he's able to win off the back of that Famine. Disguised Toast, who we did just see lose, is mandated a Miss Supersonic. He actually hasn't got a Miss Supersonic yet. This is what we talked about earlier. Despite the fact he hasn't gotten the character he's mandated to pick up, he's still building around the idea of getting him.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea to build around the character you were assigned. You could also just hopefully just hope you don't get the unit as well. That's another take on it. But yeah, it looks like they're all off to pretty strong starts, so got a couple of 2 stars.
This is such a fun turn. This is the kind of stuff I would not be allowed to do, but God, I wish I had the position to do. Which is both, hey, do you want to win 10k? And, oh God, you're just like playing with this character that you have to pick up? Like the combination of Mario Party rules and serious money on the line is my favorite. Oh my God,
man,
this 2-star Famine.
Oh. Famine, one more. Go, go, go.
It's a tie.
And that is why Famine is so strong when it comes down to the 1v1. Same for Hog Rider, though. As you saw there, Hog Rider did charge as he died. which is why I love him so much.
This is the Korean player Da Hyoni, is how I'm taking a stab at pronouncing his name. Interestingly, he's another player mandated to pick up the Ice Tusk. Hasn't drawn an Ice Tusk yet. Oh, sorry. One Ice Tusk.
He's got one. Yeah.
So he seems to be going for the Ice Tusk as an excuse to go Warrior frontline and then put Sorcerers or Hunters behind it.
Yeah, he has a lot of really good options here. Flamecaller, very strong unit in the early game. As you can see, the Flamecaller is probably going to clean both of these riders up. Yeah, very easily, as you can see that burst damage coming through.
Oh my god.
I love seeing a good barbecue.
It's like watching CNN. Disguised Toast just lost their second round. The only two players that still have an untouched HP bar are Ponyov and Da Hyoni at the top of the board. I believe we have Ponyov's POV in the bottom right there. He is mandated to pick up Famine. He has finally got one. We'll have to see how that plays out. But we go to the last place player, Play Hard, who's mandated Evergreen. We speculated that was a really good opportunity for him, but it doesn't seem to be working out.
I think he'll come back. He has a lot of good units on his bench there. Looks like he could go into Hunters with some Druid frontline. I think he's gonna make a comeback though, especially once he gets to the mid game and starts picking up really good Druid units.
I'm a
Ponyov got shut down there.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did finally get dunked on.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of kind of the Evergreen because many people don't know this because it's like a subtle passive, but he has an AoE heal, which is really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Here's the top player on the card again. This is Da Hyoni with the Ice Tusk mandate. He's actually got a real good setup now, using those warriors as a front line for hunters, it looks like.
It's looking very strong right now. Oh, he might go warrior hunter. That'd be very, very strong.
No, that's possibly the best outcome for his composition. You could see he had that flame cooler at the start, but he makes an executive decision real early. Although just as we praise him. The Caster's Curse of the Unicorn Cavalier from the CGGI.
Oh no.
He's gone.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, the Rider Shield. Okay. No chance. That's fine though. He did get a pretty long win streak there, 3 rounds in a row. So he did get about 5 extra econ off that. Not too bad.
The Japanese representative, Max Murai, is mandated Bionic Ninja. You can see he's got a 2-star one of those, making him, it seems like, one of the few players here who's getting their mandated character. He's currently rolling in frontliners and then using that Cyborg Assassin coupled with the 2-star Famine to just skew these rounds over. And that's working real well for him.
Yeah, it's actually a really good strategy. I even use this. If I'm going for riders for the front line, if I grab a couple of cyborgs early, I usually throw them in for that cyborg buff. Because if you get cyborg buff on the rider, and the rider gets that buff as well, it's just so much armor. It's really hard for anyone to really even kill that unit.
What? They could do 3 screens at the same time as well? Oh my god. When they could do 4 screens at the same time, I was like, that's too much. But then they only did 1 screen, and I was like, that's too little. And then they hit me with 3, and it was just right.
It looks like they're just looking for the right match right now. Definitely, 3 is looking good, though. I like 3.
You like 3?
What about
All
you,
right.
TJ? Yeah, I'm liking 3.
Dead center, let's talk CGGI, because we haven't gotten a chance to really play with his composition yet. He's mandated the Hog Rider. It looks like not picked up a second Goblin, but he's using that skew for Rider and then putting some demons behind it. I think he should put that second Goblin on his bench into play.
Yeah, definitely should. The rider buff with multiple goblins, and plus, I just love using those goblin riders as the front line. They're absolutely fantastic. They just die and charge it right down, giving a nice AoE stun.
I just think that because you don't get an extra buff for having 3 riders, the buff happens on 2 and 4 riders. So take one of the riders out, play the second goblin, get the attack speed buff as well. This is Erpan, though, who's currently suffering. He's sitting with the Frost Lotus as a mandated character, but it hasn't been going well. Is he going Demon Punisher plus Frost Lotus?
Possibly here. He has no economy though. He's only on 1 mana crystal. If he's not careful, he could go out very early.
But he has both Punishers, so if he gets 1 more demon, he has the 4. He has the 4 demon Punisher comp.
Yeah, he's just looking for that 1 demon. Hopefully he finds it, because I think that will skyrocket him back into this game. Because once you get the 4th Punisher, AoE damage to everybody.
The danger always with going for that Punisher composition is that you need to get the right rolls. You need to literally need the perfect team to be drawn. And if you don't get the right rolls, or someone else is picking up your demons, like Max Mirai actually is, then you're in trouble. Max Mirai is still on top of the board. We talked about this earlier. He's mandated to have that Bionic Ninja, but he's using it as a distraction and kind of a secondary frontline for his solid 2-star Famine plus the Stalker drone, which are adding up.
I think I want to change my prediction here. This guy's already picked up the early Kraken.
I called it.
He's got an early Kraken. It's RNG though, RNG.
Kraken on the bench.
He won the game, guys. Very good game, but he did get the Kraken. Stuns the whole map, adds 30% physical damage. Absolute amazing unit.
Disguised Toast, picking up those missed supersonics he's mandated, hasn't played a single one. They're staying on the
goblins
bench.
though, and he's going a very strong meta comp right now. I'm not sure if he knows it, but that is full goblin with Warlock. Very strong. If he gets a 2-star Berserker and a little bit of frontline, he might run over this game.
My problem with the goblin composition is just that you don't have enough frontline. Right? You have to full commit, get these 1-star goblins in sometimes, a lot of the time, to make it happen. And of the goblins, only kind of the Hog Rider can take the hits.
He can use the lifesteal from the Warlock early game to carry him with this weak frontline into the late game. Then once he gets a couple levels, he can put in some more warriors, get the warrior buff, and start to really get a really solid frontline.
And
the
other advantage Disguised Toast has is he has the goblin buff at round 13. That's like
it's very
crazy.
Early.
Full goblin at round 13.
Yeah. I mean, he might have high rolled there just a little bit to get that Berserker so early, but
Tencent
he's looking really good.
Tencent gave them the streamer back because all these players have like sick rolls.
I thought I was the only one with it, but it seems that Tencent is giving it out to everyone now.
Is that why you're ranked higher than me?
Yeah, that's how I got to rank 2 world, guys. Right
there. Disguised Toast did win his round. He seems to put things together ever since he got the full buff going. Erpan also seems to be doing a little bit better. Bottom of the card is now Playhard, Bruno Playhard, our Brazilian representative. Mandated the Evergreen, kind of struggling to make anything happen of it. This is one of the things that happens to players. It's a very diversified composition, and it looks good because he has a lot of 2-stars, but he doesn't have any buffs.
Yeah, it looks like he might be going for Punishers here. He does have a second demon. He could be looking for some Elf Punisher. Pretty interesting. Hopefully he does find the other Punishers, but he is competing for the Punishers currently, so he might be out there.
He doesn't have any Punishers. He has the demons, but he doesn't have any Punishers. and his front line is like, he has all front line. He has no significant backline aside from the Marsh Lord. We kind of speculated that with the Evergreen, he'd be looking to build that into something like the Beast Druid comp. But he hasn't gone that way.
He is stabilizing on the board at least, though, which is a very important thing to do in this game. Because if you are losing too much health, it's like someone's already down to 44 there. Like, they're in pretty bad shape. So he definitely, he's doing good for himself. He's got the stabilized board. It's really important because if you get too low, it might just be too late at that point, you know? Ooh, 5 riders.
CGGI. Representing the old meta. Full rider.
Oh, it looks like he's done his homework a little bit too. Throwing in the Sword Dancer right there. Very solid unit.
This is what I was talking about those Asian countries. Because mobile esports is like big there, I think I favor all of these Asian players because I believe that they have been playing a lot more Chess Rush.
Yeah, but looking at Ponyoff there, he's sitting in a fantastic position. He's over 50 mana crystals already. So if he can get that Rider Hunter comp online, he could be looking very strong here.
Our room has over 50 crystals as well, but his position not nearly as strong. The Russians in trouble here. 4 Riders, 3 Goblins, he's stealing them away from Toast. But he doesn't have the full buff, so it's not working out for him.
Yeah, Rider Goblin is definitely pretty strong, but he's not as lucky as Toast was to get that Berserk very early. So he's going to be struggling a bit until he gets the Berserk.
Can he get it in time? He just got bodied by CGGI down to 30 HP.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to start spinning those crystals soon, because he's getting super low. He's only level 6 though, and CGGI is level 8. Definitely needs to get some levels in.
Here is the Korean Dahyoni. I'm interested to see if this continues to work out for him, because he's got early General of War, Undead buff from the Undead Warlock. This is like sick.
Yeah, it's actually a really smart player right there. He took out the 2-star 2-cost unit for the General War. The CC is very highly valued. You'll probably see it right here. The CC is insane. Here comes the sword. Dropping down onto the backline.
That big AoE sword you just saw drop down stuns anyone under it. And that's incredible value for your team because it's more damage than, say, having a 2-star doing damage during that time. Because the rest of your board does damage with no response.
Oh, yeah, that General War is a very good pickup for him. Absolutely shutting down the backline right there.
Remember when they nerfed the Furry Sorcerer, the Starhorn, for having an AoE silence? All I could think was that AoE silence is just lame General of War. And they didn't nerf General of War.
No. Yeah, Starhorn is in a very bad spot right now.
Bad time to be a furry.
Yeah, I mean, she could be a... Ooh, wait, hold on. Erpan rocking my patented Flying V. Oh, man. As you can see, guys, Flying V, super strong formation. Absolute destroyed his opponent there. Very nice.
Can you explain why? I've actually never heard of this. Tell me more.
Oh, the Flying V. You want to hear more, TJ? I got you. The Flying V, I use it mostly for memes, but I actually found out as I was memeing it, it's actually not that bad.
This is the comp the positioning being run top left?
Yes, top left. Like, I thought it was just a meme when I was doing it, but actually turns out to be pretty good. Your front line goes to where it needs to be. Your back line stays alive so long. Oh wow, 4 goblins.
Got it. He got the Berserker.
It's actually strong.
4 goblin.
Oh man.
his entire composition was predicated on him getting that Goblin Berserker. Now he's the 4 Goblin buff and the full attack speed. He could actually just run over one of the strongest players in this game. That's insane. And you know what? I believe the positioning helped him.
Yeah, positioning was very strong there. As you can see, Berserker he just got auto attacks off the whole time.
So, explain to me, how does the Flying V protect your core? If you're putting everyone, because your core, your backline character should be exposed, right?
No, actually, your front line, they're both angled at the sides there, so they're gonna run straight down, and they're gonna catch any units coming in, because they're protecting pretty much the entire backline, because they come in narrow, and any frontline units are gonna get caught out there. And if you put your backline units closer to which side you want to focus, you can actually just focus down those units extremely fast and get to their backline even quicker. Ooh, a great sword coming in. Erpan's looking dangerously low right now. Looks like he's all in here.
Yeah, 5 HP left in the bank. He was mandated the Frost Lotus, now gets fun. He still has to buy the Frost Lotus no matter what. So he could end up with 2 Frost Lotus series now that he's got him a 3-star. He doesn't really have a composition that enables the Frost Lotus, though. As we talked about, he went Demon Punisher. That doesn't work great with it.
Yeah, yes. At least he has the 4 Punisher buff, so...
2 human buff. Just took out a 2-star to get the extra mana for his Frost Lotus. I agree with this. He's against Disguised Toast, who's not the best player on the board, but is doing well. This is his game, I think. Unless the Frost Lotus comes through huge. It does. There's the damage, but it's not enough. Goodbye, Erpan. Last place. 0 points in game 1.
Oh, is there a DC right there?
Just a flickering one on RM. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Oh, that is really unfortunate. Because he was getting his stuff together, you know? He had the Punishers. I had a 3-star Frost Lotus.
Was it wise to go Demon Punisher when your mandated character is a sorcerer?
It's not the wisest play, no. He could have definitely, especially since he got the 3-star Frost Lotus so early, could have definitely went for more humans there. And a slightly better front line.
Here is Disguised Toast, who we complimented for getting that full Goblin so early. He's currently struggling, though, despite having a Goblin Berserker absolutely shredding people. His
but the healing's coming through.
Just too squishy. This is what I was talking about. The
healing, though, the Warlock buff, TJ, yeah. Look at it.
All right, I won't talk.
Go! Yeah, the light's still...
We actually lost 2 more players that round. Playhard and Arum both dropped. Disguised Toast did win on Arum's screen as well, taking him out. That's incredible. 3 players gone now.
Was he looking for dragons? Is he gonna go... Might go Dragon Goblin. That's interesting. Okay. I've never seen it done, but it would be very strong to get the Dragon buff in. Because his Dragoon, that 2-star rider in the front there, would transform into a dragon instantly, and with that 30 attack speed from the Goblin buff, he absolutely stomping on people.
I want to see if Disguised Toast can get more of the front line, though. Because that's like my big worry. He just has so little frontline tank for a team where he needs so much.
Yeah, it looks like the lifesteal is still carrying him though, so yeah, he might be able to get into the later rounds and
if you
find
look
something.
at his positioning, the way he's just like huddled that Goblin Berserker in the corner is the right play. Because the longer the Goblin Berserker stays alive, the longer he stays alive. Oh, he just took out the Warlock buff in order to play a 2-star Moonlit Dragon.
It's
I see your face. That's a big oof. I'm not sure I believe in that at all. And he actually ends the round with only 7 of his 8 possible characters played.
Oh no, he accidentally took out the Dragoon. Oh no.
Disguised Toast! What are you doing? He loses big! He's only got 10 HP left!
Oh, that is so unfortunate that he didn't take out that 8th unit there.
Tell me he fills his board again, and tell me, please, for the love of God, that he puts the front line back. Why would you play a Moonlit Dragon in the front line instead of a Dragoon or an Ice Tusk?
I don't really have a good answer for you there, TJ.
All right.
Ooh, Pawnee getting a 600 in though.
Yeah,
Looking
with
very
the Goblin buff, that's not bad as well. It's only a 2 Goblin buff, but having the full Hunter backline
3-star
with the
Famine.
Goblin buff, real good.
Yeah, 3-star Famine already. And
And the Undead
2-star
buff.
Berserk. Ooh.
This
Yeah,
is-
he could look to make a big comeback here. He has the Shark already, and Kraken for CC to make up for his small front line.
My worry is just that he's in a game versus a couple of mage players. That backline can get full RNG'd if they're not able to get through the front line in time.
Yeah, he probably should spread out his hunters just a little bit. Maybe put Cyborg Drone in the other corner. So if they do send out AoE, they might accidentally just send it out to the Cyborg Drone.
Here is Disguised Toast screen. He keeps the Moonlit Dragon in. Take out the assassin. Why does he? Oh, it's because he wants the full dragon.
It's a
buff.
dragon, yeah.
The dragon buff's useless. You madman. he could have the warrior buff instead of the. Oh,
He has items too. He's not using his items.
you're right. I can see that little icon indicating he has items, but he's not playing them. Now his flimsy front line
and
is quickly
Joey.
overwhelmed. You can see the damage coming in from the back line. Don't count him out. The
Ooh.
Goblin Berserker's gone.
Joey
Go.
dropped the bomb.
And so is Disguised Toast.
Oh!
No HP
That bomb.
remains. There is America's hope knocked out in 5th place.
Oh. Oh, they had Kraken and Bomb there. The CC from Kraken actually adds 30% physical damage onto all your attacks. So the Bomb there does 30% extra damage. And now he has 6 cyborgs. Oh. Okay, he's looking very strong right now. He has 6 cyborg buff, which gives you 75 armor plus health regen. It's absolutely
I
insane.
legitimately don't think I've ever seen that. Either on my screen or an opponent's. I've literally never seen anyone get 6 cyborg buff.
Yeah, it's round 27, so he had plenty of time to find it. He's level 9. He gets extra chances to see legendaries now. Oh, Ponyhoff making the big comeback though.
This is what we were talking about when we were looking at his screen. He has that full Hunter backline with the
3-win streak.
Goblin buff. He's going to be real hard to deal with.
Yeah, he has all that
Here it
CC too.
So he's just looking to collect some frontline. Like, his backline is literally complete. There is nothing you could add to that backline that would make it better. So he just wants solid frontline. Maybe play that General of War in a moment for an extra stun. What's his bank looking like? He's actually not even doing too bad for crystals. He can just keep calmly leveling up here.
Yeah, and honestly, his frontline's fine because the Shark's gonna CC everybody on the map, and he has Kraken CC as well.
There it is! Ha!
Oh,
The
knocked
big
out.
stuns. And look at how people are just melting. There's the AoE. This is what we were talking about with the cyborgs, but you can
Oh, the
see
bomb, though.
it
Hold on.
doesn't add up against the damage being thrown in. That is disgusting.
Oh, 6 Hunter buff is really insane there. Plus the Goblin buff. The CC is definitely gonna keep him alive long enough for his Hunters to take everything out. He could actually place the Firefire up a little bit more. Because Firefire he is a Hunter, but he's pretty much melee range.
Bonioff currently in 4th place, but I would not be surprised if he lasts a while here, at least upper placement. Tell you what, I'll throw out the scoreboard right now just so you can kind of see. I'm sorry, I'm going to obscure some of the screens. So you can see we have those bottom 3 placements locked in. Now 4 placements. You can see the points that are being given out for them. We still have 0 points on all of the higher placers.
Ooh, Ponyhoff holding off.
You get 8 points for first place. By contrast, the 5th place player that just went out disguised toast. Grand total of 3 HP. Or 3 points from it. And that is like a massive difference. 3 to 8 points. Because they only have 2 games to play.
I think Ponyhoff could actually take the whole game here.
Really? You think it's that good?
Yes, his comp is very strong. All he's looking for is a 2-star Kraken, and I don't think there's another comp.
What about CGGI, the man after your own heart, with the Flying V?
I mean, he did rock the Flying V, which honestly made me very excited. But he's got a 1-star Night Owl in right now. He definitely, if he picks up a few more riders, I'll have more faith in it. I'll have a little more faith.
I think I have a lot of faith in the Japanese boy, Max Mirai. Because
yeah, his comp is looking strong too.
6 engineer, plus a Kraken, which is most important to me. Because if you can silence those backline. But kind of interestingly, I put a whole bunch of emphasis on how I believe the Sorcerer plays really well into the Hunters. Nobody's gotten Sorcerer this game. Nobody's been able to do it.
The Hunters are thriving right now. Ponyhoff hit level 10 there as well. He's got CC. General War, extra CC. Ooh, here comes the next CC. It's chain CC too.
Yeah, that's really scary. CGGI's gone another round on his screen. He may still win.
6 win streak.
6 win streak for Ponyhoff. Ponyhoff beats the Korean 6-0 on his own screen. That's a lot of losses, actually, for the Korean Dahioni at the top of the board. We throw over to his screen, appropriately enough. So he's got this 6-hunter frontline, which we talked up a ton, actually, the last tournament I cast. But it's not working out for him.
He could use a couple different units here. Let's see. He has probably looking for an upgrade onto the Executioner. Probably looking to get level 10 as well. If he gets level 10, he can change units around, possibly get an Undead buff or Warlock. I think he'll be doing a lot better. But right now, his backline is very weak. Only a 1-star Kraken, a 2-star Forest Breath, and a 2-star Stalker Drone. So he could look for a stronger backline.
He has that 2-star Famine on the bench. Would you play that over the Forest Breath or the Stalker Drone?
No, I probably wouldn't play it yet. But he could look to get level 10 and actually put that plus the Misfortune for the Undead buff.
You're right. That Undead buff, of course, reducing the armor of the opposing team across the board. And that's why he goes for it, actually bidding the Forest Breath, flat out selling it. He's got the best economy on the board at 56 crystals, so he's got room to work with. A lot more flexibility than many of the other players.
The Cyborg comp, though, I'm getting so excited for it. He's actually putting in the CC as well, which is very smart.
Here's Ponyhoff, currently on his win streak. Does that change versus the Korean that struggled so much? Doesn't look like it. The Kraken goes off, slows things down. But you can see nobody gets close to that backline, and they've done exactly what I said they had to, which is maybe draw a little bit more to the front line. Ponyhoff has now a solid front line, an unstoppable back line, and despite being on 18 HP, I think he's my favorite to win this game.
Yeah, CGGI, they're actually taking a big loss from him on his screen.
Yeah. 2-star Blade Dancer, 2-star Striker. That's a lot of burst, a lot of backline dive. He's going 3 Assassin here, but he has no sustained backline of his own. It's pretty much just that Nether Prince and Unicorn Cavalier. That's not going to add up.
Yeah, if he gets lucky enough, though, he could get the invisibility resets.
But he's versus the Cyborgs who don't care about backline dive. They will just shred his backliners when they dive, and then the front line begins to work away. This could be awful for him. It is game. He's out in 4th place.
Oof. Yeah, very unlucky there. Actually, two ultimate weapons are in, I think, for him. Cyborg's looking very strong right now. They could possibly take it to get 2-star legendaries. Okay, Ponyop did get the upgrade on his General War. Very nice.
All the bank that was built up there by Dahioni has been burned. I'll be curious to see what his board looks like in a moment. We've got around 35, and this game has come down, I think, to the Japanese Cyborg comp and this backline full hunter.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count out 1st place yet, because they did just spend a lot of crystals. They could have found some more stuff for their backline, which is all he really needs. Just needs a stronger backline.
Where is it? Screen bottom, center bottom.
Yeah.
So he still has that full hunter front line. Siren's still level 1, but he has a Famine Undead Warlock plus a Goblin Berserker now to be a backline. That's a 2-star Goblin Berserker. That's not bad.
Yeah, he's actually looking for the 3-star as well. The only problem with that is Ponyop does have the other Berserkers.
2-star Shaka Raka Raka Kaka. That's what his name is.
Now
That's
he's
not
looking
bad.
good. Now he's looking very strong. A lot of CC coming out of that shark.
Ponyov playing against him. This
Ooh,
could
the
get
backline.
dangerous. Look at how low
Kraken.
the HPs are at this point.
Ooh, the Kraken?
It's fine.
Oh yeah, the Kraken way too strong.
Except for Dahioni the Korean win on their screens. That puts our lowest HP still at 18 on Ponyov. Dahioni falling from 1st place, now sitting on 25 HP.
Okay, he's changing up his positioning here.
I want to see this
Yeah,
comp
that's
get very,
completely
very
fine.
aggressive, because he does have the advantage of that 6 warrior buff. Use it to try and run people over. He just got another guru. There's the 3-star Ice Tusk.
Oh. Very nice, okay. It's looking very good for him now. Let's see what happens
Oh my god!
here.
His 3-star Ice Tusk just got melted! This Hunter comp takes no prisoners. It just vanished.
Ooh, Kraken's done. Oh, not coming in yet. Okay, once the Kraken's stun goes off, he could just absolutely run over him.
That is very, very bad. Still 3 stars on the board.
Ooh.
13 HP remains. Ponyov has almost made a full comeback.
Yeah, and he beat. Oh, actually, he lost to the 1st place by 2.
That's worrying. That's his first loss in a while. Here's Ponyov's screen. Level 10, as is everyone at this point. Very aggressive game. He's got a Terminator added to his composition, but he's playing him awfully far forward.
Yeah, you could actually Void Doom right there on the bench. He could definitely put that in there.
Bins the Void Doom.
Oh no. That Void Doom is really strong in the Warrior because it does percentage health damage.
Oh, this is good though.
We'll see
Good
it.
stuns, good front line.
Kraken about to go off.
Big
Oh,
stun
no, she
into
gets
his
stunned.
backline though from the General of War, and I'm
Oh,
not sure
double
the
stun.
Hunters are safe. They're now overwhelmed. Oh, the Kraken, it's good. General of War stun against his backline. Will get the final 2 stunned up though, and they're simply overwhelmed. The Hunters can't stay alive. They're both gone.
Oh, he
The
might
winner
live. He might
of
live.
game number 1 is the Japanese man, Max Murai, who ran Bionic Ninja, who ran full Cyborg. I really don't believe that.
Oh man, that was a game. That was a game. That was
Full
honestly
Cyborg
everyone was
the
running.
secret.
Yes, definitely the secret there.
Uh,
Oh man.
You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Korean Dahioni went out in 3rd place, correct? He went out slightly faster.
Yeah, Ponyop did pick up a second there.
Okay. Then I have the updated scoreline in a moment, I think. Ponyov coming out in second with 6 points. CGGG with 4 points, correct?
Yes.
Here it is. Boom! Oh, that's the wrong button. Caster Cam. Boom. So we have Disguised Toast doing all right at the top of our card with 3 points, Ponyov with 6, Play Hard with 1, CGGG with 4, Urpan sitting on 0 with a rough early exit, Max Mirai with a grand total of 8, and they've got 1 as well. Their scoreboard's much more ugly than mine. So, where are we at the end of this?
Honestly, anything can happen in the next game. I believe they go into turbo mode,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited to see that.
Urpan can't win. Like, there's legitimately no way he wins at this point. I love him, but the math doesn't add up.
He could possibly get top 3, though, still.
Yeah, and that does count if you want to recap of the pricing. First place is $10,000. Second place, $5,000. Third place, $1,000. So getting top 3, even if it isn't that 10K, still decent money in it.
Oh man, that was actually just the craziest game we just watched right there.
Yeah, we just watched a Cyborg composition win in competitive play. It, like, literally nothing else matters at that point.
Yeah, the Cyborgs are really strong, especially if you pick up all the things you need.
Yeah, no, my understanding of competitive has been broken. We're going to go to a lightning fast break. 5 minutes on the clock. When we come back, it's time for game number 2, the turbo mode and the finale of the Global Star Challenge. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
I
It turns out Landon Sanders. And what was the other one?
I don't even
Damn,
remember.
whatever,
But
whatever,
turns-
whoever the casters are, they lied to us about the duration of this break. Welcome back to Game 2. We're in turbo mode, and we don't have time for breaks. We don't have time for moments to pause. It's the Global Star Challenge community feed, and we are moments away from a conclusion. With this turbo mode game underway, the winner of this will walk away with the 10k prize pot. My name's still TJ, still alongside Fried Sweetie. We don't have cool caster names like those two.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. The exciting thing about this mode is anything can happen.
Yeah,
Absolutely anything. So
rounds are quicker,
I can't
health
really-
is shorter. It's absurd how quickly gems generate. That's always the thing I notice.
yeah, getting a +3 for a win. So if you're winning, you're gonna be outscaling everyone really quick.
Let's talk about the results of Game 1. I'll throw it up on the feed for you. Right now, kind of the players to watch, I guess, are our top 5, let's say. The players that could realistically win if the RNG goes their way. The Koreans and the Japanese are dominating the top of the board. Max Murai, the Japanese man, with 8 points in the Game 1 victory. Podiov with 6, coming in third behind them. Then you move down the cards. CGGI did all right. Disguised Toast went out a little bit early with some poor decision making, and then poor Arum, Play Hard, and Urpan all kind of suffered during Game 1, and I don't see a way for them to win in this Game 2.
I'm actually really surprised that Disguised Toast did his front line like that. And doing the 3 dragons. Very unfortunate for him.
Let's talk about this composition run by Arum. He had such a rough Game 1. I'm kind of looking for him to bounce back. But he's so again, his mandated character is Frost Lotus. He has to pick up Frost Lotus whenever it comes out. But again, he's just like, you know what I'm gonna do? Demon Punisher? Demon
that
Punisher
looks like-
does not work with Frost Lotus. They don't work together.
He has a clear favorite comp, it seems, though. Which can't really hate him for it. Punisher is very strong in the turbo mode. Just needs to pick up one more demon. And he's a second one to level 8 as well.
I'm not a giant fan of it, to be honest. Because, like, you need to go, I feel you always need to go, like, at least 6 demon to make it work. I say at least 6. There aren't more than 6 demons, but that's kind of my point, I guess. You need to go, because the way it works, of course, is if you have over 4 demons with the 2 Punishers, then you live in a world where you're doing AoE damage on each of the demon strikes. A lot of fun, very cool, thanks for sharing. Problem is, if you don't have the demons to be doing AoE damage across the board, and they're not high-level demons doing a lot of damage, then I don't really notice.
Yeah, CGGI is actually in trouble here. It's already down to 28. Yeah, not... It definitely needs to get some levels in, though.
We can see his board kind of over here. It's all level 1s. That's what's gone wrong. Kind of going for a sorcerer comp for CGGI. Against him currently, Bruno, Play Hard, who also went out quite early on during game number 1. These are the last 2 players during game number 1 actually currently slugging it out. Play Hard seems to have won this round, though. The Brazilian able to stand strong with a solid Engineer Rider frontline. Decent amount of damage hiding behind it from the Miss Supersonic and the Firefur.
I think Ponyhoff might be running Druids, because he beat the last person with 11 units on board.
Alright, what does CGI do? How does he turn this one round?
His comp is looking very weak right now. And he's out of money, so I guess he just has to make it to the next round. Neutral round coming up. Hopefully he doesn't go out here.
Round 10 will be versus the camps, the AI, so it's survivable. He's versus Bruno, play hard again. This time, the 2-star Unicorn Cavalier and the Marsh Lord. You can see the difference that makes. He also got level 4 Beast. I actually, you know what? For as much as CGGI is suffering, I really like this composition in idea at least. Because he's got the extra mana regen from the human buff, plus the Beast. He's going to be summoning a lot of people on his summoners. He's going to be summoning a lot of pets.
Yeah, hopefully he gets to the point where he can pick up an owl, which will be even more beast. It seems like a lot of people are running beast though.
Yeah. Well, it's so strong in turbo mode. Disguised Toast took a lesson from game 1. I'm not sure what you think about it, but sure is a lesson that he took. That's full engineer for Disguised Toast?
Yeah, definitely a new look. He does have a Kraken. Yeah, it looks like he took some notes from game 1. And it was like, okay, Through Dragon's not the way.
Oh, well, when he played that Moonlit Dragon as his frontline, in order to get the Dragon buff rather than have a Warrior buff for his Hunter backline, I was legitimately very upset.
Well, he could also stayed alive a little bit longer if he did not accidentally take out that Dragoon as well.
Yeah.
That was very unfortunate.
Also wasn't great. So, in the quest for greatness, how do you feel about 5 engineers plus 4 hunters?
Pretty solid right now. I think if he picks up the legendary, he'll be in a very, very good spot. Right now his comp is looking a little bit weak though.
Yeah, just got melted by
2-star Dragoon. He
So
has a
what,
2-star Dragoon right there. It's so much damage.
we don't have his screen. Instead, we're staring at the champion of the last game, Max Murai. How do you feel about this? This is weird. 3 characters. Now the rest of his team loads in.
It looks like he's just going for a lot of really solid units and going for
Not a lot of
Cyborg
synergy,
again.
though.
Yeah, but he does have a couple really strong units. Nether Prince is strong in his own right. Dark Mage, legendary unit already. Very strong as well. Throws a tornado out that actually slows everyone's... Oh, he got it!
The ultimate
what's he
weapon!
missing?
He can go cyborg!
Oh.
He has Joey the ultimate weapon.
He's just missing drone. He just needs to pick up that 3-cost drone and he is set.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at
So-
the weapon.
So for chat, normally the problem with Cyborg is you can get all the early game Cyborgs pretty easily, but in order to get the 6th Cyborg buff that makes the race so powerful, you need to get one of 2 late game Cyborgs, the Terminator and the Ultimate Weapon, and they're notoriously hard to draw whilst you're running Cyborg. The fact that he's already got one this game, and he got 6 Cyborgs last game, is absurd.
Yeah, he's looking very strong this game. If he wins a game with Cyborgs, I'm gonna be one happy person.
If he wins the tournament on Cyborgs, what do you do about your meta?
Well, Cyborgs, I always run Cyborgs, honestly. I do love my Cyborgs.
I wanna just say that I believed in Max from moment 1.
Yeah,
I
true.
I was the person who said at the head of this stream I thought he'd win. I made that prediction. Send me a Twitch clip, chat. I made that prediction.
Yeah, you definitely did. The people I was thinking that would get a really good game off was Ponyhoff, though. They did get the comp together, but just 6 Cyborgs and 6 Warriors. He was against some really strong compositions there.
Disguised Toast, CGGI, both on 4 and 3
Ooh,
HP.
double jelly.
RMTV already out. Disguised Toast, you're right. Sitting on 2 jellies. We'll spend them both now.
Wait,
3-star
can
Miss
make a
Supersonic,
drone.
2-star Hunter
Okay.
Drone.
He's got the 6 cyborg buff as well.
That's good. It needs to save him. Top left side of the screen. There's this guy's toast. And he's versus Urpan. That's dangerous. There's the AoE damage on his backline. The Terminator. It can't save him. Disguise Toast. I think he's out in last place. Oh my god, he finally finds third. We lose half our board that turn. My
He almost
god.
made a comeback right there. That's very close. AoE did come through, but very unfortunate.
CGGI gets 1 more point because he went out in 7th place. Bruno, I believe, gets 2. I'll have to double check to make sure I don't mess this up. Bruno, yes, gets 2 for his exit here, bringing his total up to 3 points in the tournament. So, not great. And Disguised Toast, because of his exit in 5th, at least he's consistent, now has a total of 6 points. This is interesting.
Cyborg is in a good spot right here.
Our
He has so
bottom
much,
3 still alive are the same. Urpan went out last time, now he's in the 1st.
Yeah. Like I said, turbo mode, anything can happen. Never know what you're gonna get. Definitely, it's looking good for Cyborgs again. All he has to do is find the upgrades. Ooh, crack it. Ooh, keep rolling, keep rolling. Get those 3 stars.
He is keeping the roll going. There's the Guru, he can have a 3-star.
Okay.
Do you blow it? Plays the Terminator, solid choice.
Oh, he's only got 8 units. Okay, whew.
Don't show his Google account. Oh no. Okay. Our champion of the last game, Max. Oh, he's in trouble actually. Nope, AoE damage came through. Why'd I doubt him? So is he in trouble? He is full cyborg now, right? Surely that saves him, right?
No, he is doing very good right now. He has the both of the legendaries already.
Does he win
T2
this game
stars
on
on
5
board.
HP? Both cyborg legendaries? Plus a Kraken?
He still needs upgrades though. You're not safe on cyborgs until you pick. Oh wow!
2-star
Picks up the
ultimate weapon.
2-star
How's that
ultimate
for
weapon.
upgrades? 2-star supersonic.
Okay, it's looking better. Still in a little bit shaky spot here. Until he gets the 3-star front line. But 2-star ultimate weapon.
Don't cut
take
away.
that,
He
we'll
just
take
got
that.
played against the top card on the board. Ponyov is versus the Korean who came in 2nd last game. Oh, and I think he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Unable to stay alive. Dahione's demon forces overwhelm him. He's off the card. Max Mirai, the Japanese man, does survive.
It's looking very good for him. Very strong against Punisher, cyborgs are. Hopefully he can find the 3-star. That's huge. That is so huge. The Ground Smasher does so much damage by himself. He does true damage, AoE. So getting that, he might actually win. He might just win off that.
Yeah. That's actually really scary that he got that 3-star. I mean, just placing top 3 with 8 points already in the bank is insane. The only person who could beat him is the Korean in terms of tournament victory. It is between Max Mirai and Dahione, the Korean in 2nd place right now.
Joey doing 19,000 damage. The upgrade was massive.
4 HP!
Oh.
Dahione just lost to Max Mirai on his own screen.
Well, okay, they're looking for upgrades. 6 Warrior, 4 Punisher. Looking pretty good. And 5 Rider, 3 Dragon. Ooh, just missing 1 Rider.
The tournament
Does have the
comes
2-star
down to
Dragoon.
this next round. The only person who can maybe afford a loss is Urpan. Dead center, bottom of the card. You can see our challenger, Dahioni, struggling for his life. The CC comes through. It looks like he's stabilized versus Urpan. Top right, Dahioni also won his round. The player to drop is Urpan, the top. And we're left in a duel between the first and second place finalists of game number 1. The two players who could win this tournament. If Dahioni wins, he's still got it. He's got the 10k. Max Mirai needs a win to secure it. Else he's left in second place with just $5,000.
Did pick up the third dragon there and 6 rider, so
Yeah, this is perfect. We have an AI round to talk this through. So,
yeah,
Max Mirai's got full cyborg right now with so many legendaries. What is the hope for Dahioni?
he can somehow get a 3-star dragoon. I think he could possibly bring it back. But he's
just
only
looking
got
to
2
focus in
mana
on
crystals.
that Dragoon, the riders.
Yeah, that's the most important thing to do in Dragon Rider comps, is get the 3-star dragoon, because it's essentially all your damage.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Oh, 2-star. He's got the jelly. He can 2-star out the legendary if he wants.
Here we go. The game decided
he's
on
jelly.
this round.
Okay.
3-star cyborgs. 3-star victory. We'll see. Max Mirai. Frontline holding. There's the CC coming through. Oh my word, he's got it.
Bomb.
There's no way to
Bomb.
hold against all those legendaries. There's nothing to be done. We'll see if the result's the same on the other screen, but I don't see it any other way. It looks like we have our victory. Oh, actually, this is so close. Oh my god.
Oh, dragoon.
The Dragoon saved
it's a-
it. Nobody loses.
Oh.
The RNG goes
Oh my
differently on
goodness.
Dahioni's screen, and his
Might
Dragoon
have.
saves the day.
I don't know,
2-star
on his screen, he
Terminator.
Might have stunned him. Oh wow.
What are you doing with 12 crystals still in the bank? Roll,
spin.
roll, roll.
Oh, dragoon.
He's still got another roll left. The madman.
Oh man.
Okay, Cyborg Assassin
Okay,
into his
so
backline.
repositioning.
That causes trouble. Look at the Dragoons positioning those. This is so smart. It's off for the rest of the team, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
very
get
good.
AoE CC'd. I'm not sure. It
What
needs to go
AoE
so
comes-
huge
ooh.
to save him, though.
The
Because the
bomb.
stuns, the AoE damage has really gone against him this time. He's gone. And your tournament champion is Max Mirai.
Cyborgs. Let's go. Oh man, I'm so excited to see cyborgs.
All right, it's time for TJ Does Math while looking slightly off screen. Max Mirai ends with 12 points. Second place gets 6 points for Dahioni. And that puts him at... Or sorry, yes, that puts him at 12 of his own. Max Mirai with 8 should be on 14. I'll hope that's right. Here is your hopefully accurate scoreboard. We'll probably get one from the official feed in a moment. The names we were giggling at, Landon Sanders and Taylor Noble for the two official casters. Those are just sick names. All right, that concludes the Global Star Challenge. Wow. I didn't expect to be walking out of that saying, I guess Cyborg wins, but we've had our first real big tournament, and the player walking away with $10,000 ran Cyborg both times.
Yeah, Cyborg's definitely really strong. He did get the legendaries both games. Very, I don't know if lucky or if...
Is it lucky if
Just-
you just full commit to the Cyborgs and roll for them obsessively?
Sometimes, yes. It's still a little lucky because sometimes you just get 5 cyborgs and you just die before you can get it.
I think it's very worth noting that he got the RNG his way, but he also played it darn well.
Yes.
Many players would have looked at being forced to draw cyborgs and been like, we'll stuff in some else. Do what Urpan did, where Urpan rolled him a Frost Lotus and then said, screw it, I'm still going with my comp, we're going to have the Demon Punishers around it. Instead, he went, no, we're playing to this strength, we're going to use the Cyborg Assassin. And we're going to go full cyborg. And gosh darn it, we're going to win $10,000 in the Just Watch Global Star Challenge.
I mean, full cyborg, definitely a very strong composition. Especially with that many legendaries. He had a 2-star ultimate weapon and a 2-star Terminator. That had so much damage. Plus he had the CC and the 3-star Smasher. He was pulling so much damage for how tanky he was.
It is.
And it's all AoE.
It is crazy to see. I absolutely adore what we just saw, and you could see all that mad AoE coming through, almost at all times from the late game cyborgs. Like, I'm never doubting them again. Because every time we saw them roll, they were just wiping people.
Yeah, you should definitely watch me play Cyborg sometimes. Because I usually do get the RNG. I do get, I like to put in about 2 or 3 Joey's ultimate weapon. Just, honestly, such a fun comp to run. The AoE damage from ultimate weapon is insane.
Do you draw any meta lessons from this tournament, or is it a bit too silly for you to do that?
Maybe a bit too silly, because we didn't see a lot of the meta comps in the game right now. We saw like 2 or 3, but
no one went Sorcerer.
Yeah, no one went Sorcerer. That's right. But no one had like the perfect comp. That makes sense. Like, they were running a couple meta comps, but they didn't have a couple important pieces. Which just comes down to knowing what the best units in the game are.
And that just means that I think we're a little less sure of what we can come away with from that tournament. I think that means we're a little like, sure, I take the lesson that cyborgs are pretty good, but we always kind of knew that if you got the RNG, cyborgs were viable. And to be honest, I'm still not convinced that you can get that RNG often enough. And nobody was running the compositions that are seen to shut down that composition.
Yeah, if someone would have went some undead buff or invested more into Void Dooms, they could have definitely shut down the cyborgs. I just don't think anyone knew the answer to them.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting to see. I'm happy we got to see that play out, because I was excited to see the cyborgs win. But as I said at the start of the broadcast, the reason why I said that I favored Dahioni to win that tournament, or sorry, Max Mirai to win that tournament, was not because of what character he had gotten, but because I looked at how prepared he was on his stream, and I simply believed that he was more knowledgeable about the game, and I think that showed. Here is your final standings one last time. Max Mirai walks away with the win. Game 1, 8 points. Game 2, 8 points. First place both times, 16 points in total.
But yeah, guys, definitely pick up them cyborgs. Oh man, that was the bestest play of cyborgs I've ever seen.
It was the best RNG I've ever seen. He got blessed. When was the last time you saw someone draw Terminators at like round 4 like that?
Yeah, he did. He did get a little blessed there, but he still played it well. He did not mess up anything. Kept the 6 cyborgs in. I know some people they do mess up when they get to 6 cyborgs. They don't go for the more legendaries to throw in, or they just put different units in that don't really make the composition shine like he did.
Ooh.
So
There is your teaser, I guess. Season 1 of the King of the World tournament is coming. That's fun to see. Tencent do this. They'll run a promotional event and they'll announce a tournament at it. King of the World, I'm assuming, will be that tournament, so I can't wait to see what happens there. There's your final prizing going out Ponyov with $1,000. He's certainly not mad about that.
plus the media shout out too.
Yeah.
Be very nice.
Third place has never paid better, especially not in a first-off promotional tournament.
Yeah, I would not be mad at all. But to go and play some chest rush plus get paid, I would definitely do that.
Hey, we finally learned what beats Korean esports. Japanese esports. And you know what? I'm not that surprised because this game is very popular in Japan. Many of the characters are based off, I believe all the characters are based off of Warsong, which is a MOBA, the Japanese primarily MOBA. So they love this game there, and the fact that they crushed it, real happy to see.
Yeah, me too. Cyborg's definitely. Oh man, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how much legendaries that guy had. It was insane.
It was a little absurd. I'm gonna have to, as we close things out here, I'm gonna have to ask you just to briefly run through yourself, because we're gonna post this VOD places. Where can people find you if they were blown away by your knowledge here?
Well, if you want to find me, you can check me out anytime on twitch.tv, Fried Sweet Tea. Currently rank 2 player in the world. In the world, yep.
Oh,
rank
my
1
God.
in North America. Yeah, very high on the list. So, if you want to come by, learn some knowledge about the game, definitely just come by, check me out.
And I certainly can't wait for that. You'll be able to find this VOD. Thank you very much to Jury over at the Premier Gaming Squad. We've been broadcasting this over on Premier Gaming as well. They helped produce our coverage of this event, and the VOD will be up there on their official YouTube. You can, of course, find me on my Twitch at esportstj. So, yay. I guess you're already there, presumably, if you're watching it on Twitch. This event was put on by Tencent. This was the unofficial community broadcast. I hope you had a great time. We'll be wrapping things up now. Any final words as we close things out?
Run cyborgs.
Run
That's what we learned
cyborgs.
there.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. You can be streaming in a moment, Fried Sweet Tea?
Oh, of course, of course.
Of course. All right, head on over. He's going to be streaming in a moment. Till then, maybe grab a snack because, man, I kind of need one after a tournament like that. Have a great rest of your day.